All right, with all of that said, we're going to go right into our session with Martina from Octane. Martina, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Well, welcome on. We've already discussed a little bit with Gorgeous some of the opportunities we have with Messenger and SMS marketing, and then having Gorgeous be that back-end platform that can drive the human sides of the relationship. Now, I'm imagining we're about to get into the automation sides of this relationship and how to drive, let's say, lead flow and really convert customers while building cohesive brand experience.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of our focus has been on the personalization aspect of all of this. Where are we getting the data? How are we personalizing the data to build those automations and to have that stuff kind of running in the background and building LTV and really finding ways to connect with your customers even further.
Yeah, awesome. All right, with that said, I'm going to put your screen up here. I'm going to get out of the way and let you riff.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much for having me, you guys. My name is Martina, as Derek said. I am the agency partnerships manager here at Octane. And talking about, our general overview of the future of e-commerce, how AI is really changing that industry. I wanted to talk about how to really create personalization when it comes to thinking about ways to connect with your customers further. We're always looking for different ways to do this, right? Overall, if you aren't familiar with Octane, OctaneAI powers branded, customizable quizzes for Shopify merchants. It collects, contact information, any kind of information that you're looking for, data that you're actually trying to glean from those customers, and really dynamically then lead them to a recommended set of products or content. There's a number of use cases you can build within quizzes, but all of that data is tracked, and then it can be synced with Shopify, with your SMS, with Facebook Messenger, which is a huge component of our platform as well, and then through email with our integration with Klaviyo, which I'm going to talk a little bit about today. So when you think about that personalization factor, personalization is on everyone's mind. I think it's at top of mind for every single brand out there. Really going beyond how can we get a little deeper with our customers, beyond addressing them by name. Maybe we need to know a little bit more about them. Using that data, you can actually really share relevant and actionable and interesting content to enhance that customer's experience. As you can see here on the right-hand side of my screen, the right-hand side of this slide is an example of one of our messenger automations, one of our clients, creating questions and answers, so to speak, for the customer to interact through Facebook Messenger once they've opted in, simply in the same way that you would opt in via email, to connect with the brand and get some really helpful information, whether it's guiding them around the site, talking about a sale, etc. But how do we go further with those conversations and elevating all of our channels? Personalization overall in any factor, whether you're working with any of the wonderful tech partners in the space, anything that you're doing to make that experience a little bit more personal, you're going to see more conversions. You're going to increase AOV. You could potentially reduce returns by, having a more personalized and more unique and niche catered to the customer experience in the first place. So personalization in total really makes the experience more efficient and rewarding, that shopping experience for the customer. And what we really have dialed into here at Octane is paying attention to customers' preferences and really reacting in a way that adds value. So what happened about a year ago, we launched, I guess August, it's coming up, almost a year. We launched the OctaneAI Shop Quiz. And the reason we came to this product was because we had built our business on Facebook Messenger, and then in about 2019, adding SMS capabilities to really function in that automation sense. If you're familiar with Klaviyo, kind of giving the same experience to the Facebook Messenger channel, right? So thinking about creating cart abandonment messages, browse abandonment messages, obviously having people opt in the same way that you would give your email, but giving Facebook Messenger your credentials there. And why you would do that, what we had seen was a lot of Facebook Messenger people that were focused on it, a lot of brands that were focused on it, were seeing much higher open rates if people were subscribing to their Facebook Messenger than they were to email. They were, you're getting all these messages from your friends on Facebook. So they had a higher conversion rate from that message, also higher open rates. You're not being cluttered and bogged down in that inbox. But what we noticed was, because we could build these flows like you're seeing here in Facebook Messenger with our Messenger product and these automations. The other thing that we noticed was that a lot of brands were creating quizzes, so to speak, questions and answers going back and forth, that the customer could be led to a certain product or have a certain question answered. And it was just very clear that there is a need in the market for a quiz type product that could help personalize the experience even further for the customer. So we launched the Shop Quiz, like I said, in August of last year. Since then, we have hundreds of clients, Shopify and Shopify Plus merchants that are really crushing it with this product, whether it's a product recommendation tool, which is probably the most common, but also a gift bundle builder. Some clients are even thinking about utilizing this as a post-purchase type of survey to really understand the customer's level of satisfaction after they've purchased. But by bringing this in-store retail experience online, which is incredibly useful right now. We're still in the midst of this pandemic. People aren't going to an in-store, to a brick and mortar store, and many of our businesses are exclusively online. So imagine that experience when you walk into a store and you're saying to yourself, I really need help finding the best moisturizer for my skin. And someone is there to help you and to guide you and to understand a little bit more about your needs and what you're looking for, and then providing the right product. That's a great experience. And what we wanted to do was make that shopping experience, bring it online. So again, like I said, it's increasing that conversion, possibly increasing AOV, because the better group of products, the associated products, which that go along with that recommendation that you got through the quiz, all of those coming together is going to make you feel more secure in that purchase. So we're able to really personalize that shopping experience based on who your customers are and not just what they are looking at, not just what we're seeing the analytics of what products are most popular when we're taking a look at our brand. So then you're collecting this valuable data, which is the key piece of what I'm going to talk about today, because you can utilize this through Facebook Messenger, really creating lists of these certain customers that have come through, gotten certain results, and message them if you guys are utilizing that messenger platform to communicate. But also through email. A lot of merchants are struggling with that. How do we increase our email channel? How do we increase conversion? How do we boost it up? How do we find more personalized ways to interact via email so that we are building that subscriber list, we are maintaining that subscriber list, and we are really, feeling trusted in the content that we're bringing to our customers? So a little bit on the technology, this shop quiz, and we would love for you guys to come and reach out for a demo so we can show you all the ins and outs of this. But the beautiful thing about the shop quiz is that this is an embed code piece of technology that doesn't require any type of development to implement. So no coding required. You're creating it in our backend, and it can be created by anyone. The tool actually looks very similar to Shopify. So you're sort of dragging and dropping those questions, those answers, and really customizing it to your heart's content. A lot of our brands that are utilizing this are seeing so much seamlessness when they're working with our team to create, making sure that the colors, the fonts, everything is on brand with your theme and able to implement. So it looks like just an extension of your site housed on any page in that site. fully integrated with Shopify. So you're able to automatically sync your products, and you have no need to edit those products. But you can also track what's important on that personalization piece is really tracking Facebook pixel events for people that, maybe drop off in the quiz. They've only answered a few questions. You can collect opt-ins, whether it's phone number, messenger, or email, and send those automated personalized follow-ups, and have really advanced analytics to understand, how your customers are experiencing this, what pieces of data, and which customer segments, buyer profiles that they're falling into. So when you think about creating a quiz, and this is where I challenge all of our partners and merchants that I speak to about, okay, I really want to start with a quiz. I think it's a good idea for our brand, but I don't really know where to start. And the first thing I will say to anyone considering that quiz is thinking about if you had a magic wand and you could wave it and find out what different pieces of data, what customer segments you'd like to create. If you wanted to break down that customer base by age, by how often they've shopped with you, maybe it's something more specific like their lifestyle habits, or in a skincare example, are they concerned with wrinkles, with dry skin, with oily skin? Any of those things, what are those key pieces of data that you would want to know? And then trying to kind of pull that into specific questions. You can see some examples here. I use the skincare example. These are all pulled from live quizzes that we do have with some of our clients. But you can choose any kind of data that you'd like to collect and then start to implement that via questions. Like I said, the engagement type of data, that attitudinal, the qualitative, really understanding customers' pain points and their preferences. So you can see that this could come into a range of types of quizzes, a style quiz, a fit quiz. We work almost across every vertical in the Shopify world: supplements, jewelry, skincare, personal care, apparel. Food and beverage is huge as well, to try to guide someone to their perfect flavor. A lot of opportunity to create this. But why is this so important? Now, when you come back to it, that quiz is live. We've got the perfect questions. We're recommending great results to our customers, and they're buying. We're seeing conversion. We're seeing an increase in AOV because you can cross-sell and upsell on those results pages. People can add to cart directly from there. But what is the opportunity then also to power boost your channels? And I'll speak to Klaviyo today because of our integration with them. A lot of our clients are coming to us saying, we're solving for a lot of email marketing issues. We're not seeing a ton of opt-ins. We don't want to incentivize with a discount. We are seeing low conversion. We don't have a lot of ways to personalize those email marketing campaigns. And utilizing the quiz, all of that data, all of the answers that you're collecting throughout the quiz, and all of the questions that you're asking, and then the result page the customer ultimately gets, is all being synced almost instantaneously to Klaviyo, alongside an email opt-in if you're including that in the quiz. And then you not only have their contact information, but you do have all of those answers, all those key pieces of data to understand kind of a buyer profile, a real glimpse into who this customer is and what's important to them. So when you're trying to level up what you're looking at within the email channel, is you're creating an offer, potentially a free consultation. If it's a personal care brand, someone can reach out to you to follow up with further education on the result that you got. A discount, if you're looking to incentivize that, even for quiz completion, you can include that in the quiz. But thinking about also analyzing the behavior based on the quiz. One of our clients, Doe Lashes, is obviously a false lash brand, and they were one of our first quiz clients, and they've done an incredible job really trying to level up their email channel. They're also promoting this all through many different social media outlets like Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram to try to get people to this quiz. So they're getting a lot of traffic. But what they need to do, what they're learning to do, is really taking that data and personalizing how they message those clients those customers afterwards. And one key piece of information they noticed right out of the gate about 44% of customers taking their quiz were brand new to wearing lashes, not only to their brand, but wearing lashes in general. And they had no idea that they were getting this many new customers. People that were not used to it, didn't know quite what they were doing. And so what they realized was that was going to trigger a specific list if they were a new customer, if they were new to taking that quiz, new to the product, that they created a email flow in Klaviyo, and they dropped all of these people into a product education flow, tips and tricks, ways to follow up, ways to do your makeup, just really exciting things to get that customer to feel like they're part of the club and they are getting really helpful content because of what they purchased. If you have a subscription product, you can also utilize that email channel to follow up on like a check-in style flow. How is the product working for you? Hopefully, you're continuing to subscribe. Any details around content that you could create based on things that you find out from that quiz. So as you can see here, little snapshot of what the Klaviyo the backend would look like when you get all this information. You have their quiz result, the questions and their answers. So the expected outcomes when you're utilizing OctaneAI's shop quiz and kind of leveraging that integration with Klaviyo, not only are you seeing incredible results on the quiz itself, we're seeing high conversion from those results pages because you're pulling those products in directly from Shopify, adding to cart, and seeing greater AOVs in a lot of cases. But also on the email side, our brands are seeing anywhere from 2x to 16x growth in their email subscriber list versus their traditional email capture tools like their opt-ins or pop-ups. You can remove the need to incentivize a discount to collect email. Many people are less deterred from giving their email when they're taking a quiz. They expect that stuff is going to be emailed to them, which you can also do, and also kind of personalize those welcome flows with what they purchased through the quiz or the result they got through the quiz. And so you can sync all of that information in real time, which has just been a huge value add to this product itself. So what we've seen is not only is that quiz being such an incredible leverage point for personalization for many of our clients, but adding and making sure that personalization is carried over into their email channel or even into their Facebook Messenger channel, SMS even as well, if that is the opt-in that you're focused on growing and that subscriber list you're focused on. Taking that personalization there is only going to increase the conversion of that channel as well. A few examples to finish up. A couple of our brands here, Spun Gel, which is a personal care brand. They do have a lot of sponges and bath products and fragrance. They're seeing 26% of all of their revenue is driven from their shop quiz. They've been a client of ours for several months now, and they're seeing incredible results. 23% of their users actually opt in to receive those marketing emails, which is a great opt-in rate for the quiz because it has increased from their traditional pop-up. And 26% is the average conversion rate from that quiz results page. So not only are they seeing a great conversion from the results itself, but they're able to actually personalize all of those users that are giving their email via email as well. And the last example I do have is a supplement brand, Bariatric Fusion. There are 16x example of growing that email list. I think it was in the first 30 or 60 days of having that quiz live, they grew their subscriber list 16 times. They have an incredible conversion rate from that quiz result page to their purchase. And they're seeing such great results when it comes to increasing their AOV, increasing their revenue, and that personalization. So the last thing I'll leave you with is that Octane we're really moving from specifically that Facebook Messenger platform where we've built our business for over 5 years, but into a buyer profile platform where our products either help you collect data to personalize what you're doing with your customers, like the quiz, or you're using products that actually use that personalized data and connect with those customers through our Facebook Messenger product and SMS, and by extension, Klaviyo through our integration. If you have anything that you're interested in learning more about, you feel free to email me directly. My email is here, or you can reach out directly on our website to book a demo.
Awesome, amazing. I think that conversion rate that I was looking at is, I think you said it was 26% of customers are coming through the quiz. Yeah. All revenue coming through the quiz. It's just phenomenal to see this working so well for brands. And we think about we talked about the personalization on the product side from the LimeSpot tool, and then combine that with a quiz tool and the power of really gathering more information on our customers, which is actually what our next presentation is going to be about as well. And I think that there's just so many different things we can do, from like segmenting and sending follow-up sequences to different customers. Once we have this quiz information kind of pulled in, and let's say put into any source, whether it is SMS or Klaviyo, and the idea that there's something that merchants listening to us right now don't know about their customers, like that they're actually brand new to that product, because I totally get it. I would assume a lot of the time that that you would be buying this product, you've used it before. It'd be like learning that, somebody's buying a mascara and they've never applied mascara before. It's like, really? Wow, this is your first time. It's so fascinating to have that learning. It reminds me of another tool called Shop Phone, which allows you to call customers or prospective customers in real time and say, hey, what problems are you having, or why didn't you buy today? And somebody, the inventor of that tool, created it for himself, and he found out that most people weren't buying his product, even though because there was a feature that they didn't know it had, and they were saying, oh, that we want a hot cold. It was a bidet. We want a hot cold bidet. He's like, they are hot cold bidets. Buy it already. And he's like, okay, I'm going to make it like prominent on the top of the page. And then after that, sales just skyrocketed. So I think using a quiz in the same way can uncover really crucial insights from our customer, which will fundamentally change how we market the product, what our pages look like, and what our email follow-ups are going to be, and everything, really.
Yeah, I think one of the incredible things is one of our clients was even thinking about utilizing this as to affect what they carry as far as inventory. Like, what's your favorite product? What's your favorite collection? What are you loving that we do? What are you not loving that we do? And getting that information is critical to them, because it's going to influence what they do with future products. And so it's just really fascinating to see all the different use cases of this, and the personalization aspect. Of course, personalization is that word that everybody's talking about and we're all focused on. But it really does, I think, resonate really well when you think about, okay, the quiz itself is great. We're seeing great results. We're seeing great traffic. We're seeing subscribers. We're seeing sales. But on the kind of the level deeper, what I always say is that you have all of these channels that could be influenced by that data. Email is not the only one, right? Facebook Messenger is not the only one. And we as a team will be building a lot of integrations this year, even further than what we do already have. Recharge is coming up very soon. Gorgeous is something that we're thinking about as well. More email providers outside of Klaviyo, so that your whole tech stack can be influenced by this data.
Yeah, I think that, it's really, this is where, as we're the theme of this whole day is kind of about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And I think that this is one of the things that still the marketer is needed for. Artificial intelligence hasn't solved for this ability to do customer development and through through channels like a quiz, and then turn that into a different product, a brand new product launch, or turn it into a new market segment that we target in different messaging, or turn it into, the transition who we're going to target with our advertising campaigns and stuff like that. So that's where the marketer still needs to have that insight and that strategic power to see where the opportunities are and then make the decisions. And AI has not quite solved for that problem yet. And I think it'll be a while before we get there.
Yeah, I agree. But I think the cool thing and that we are kind of our pie in the sky and what we're headed towards is this quiz is amazing and it's been incredible. Shopify themselves are using it. They just awarded us one of their commerce awards for this product. But what we're hopeful to do is that one day this data is influencing so much throughout your store that imagine a world where you've taken a quiz and you've said that I'm a red wine drinker, I don't like white wine, and that's what I like, and that's the result I got. And I come back to that store one day and it says, something includes my name and I'm shown red wine products. And those are featured based on me coming to the store. So personalizing the website experience, like coming to the store, that's kind of where we're hopeful to go with this buyer profile information.
Right? So
exactly.
Each individual, it's my store now, not, it's not the merchant store, it's the user's store. And that experience can be perfectly catered to them. And I think it's also, the reason this quiz is so successful is because it's guiding them through the purchase process. I think, it's saying, okay, you like this thing, not that thing. Let's, and it's like, okay, I understand who you are by you giving me a little bit of information. And I think the future is just going to be filled with consumers volunteering information that helps them get through the buying experience. And so and that's why I'm so grateful to have Octane here to showcase that.
Yes, absolutely. I think that there's just so much that can be done with this, and we're just only scratching the surface right now. So love for anyone to reach out to us to share their ideas, to share their struggles. If you've had quizzes in the past or have struggled with the analytics side of things, how you integrate with everything else and how we can help, because I think it's what fuels our passion. Our team is growing and we love to work with merchants to understand, what could be that key unlock for you and how can we help you get there.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for the presentation. We're going to move right into our next session.
Thanks.